the cool thing is that now we are collaborating on a project.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's exciting, and I met DJ Jelly on Twitter. So I didn't know who DJ Jelly was either. So we met on Twitter, and we just became good friends, and they were like big brothers to me. And I met this amazing musician named Yamin Somali, who's very making moves here in the ATL, music scene too. And it was funny how I met Yamin because I was at a show, and my friend who was throwing the show said, "Hey, man the merchandise table. I got to go do something." So I was like, "Sure, I'll man the merchandise table." So Yamin walks up with this big old fro and just walks off with the CD. And I was like, "Nah, dude, that's like $10. You gotta pay $10 for that." And I wasn't like gonna let him go. And he's like, "This is my CD." I was like, "Are you sure?" And so I texted the dude that told me to man the merch table, and that was like, "Yeah, that's his CD." So I was trying to make him pay for his own CD. And that's how we met. And he was like, and that's when you know it was real. He was like, "Good looking out, Yoni, good looking out." You know, when a girl won't let you go unless you pay for your own CD, you know, that's some real shit, you know?
Uh-huh.
So that's, yeah, right? So that's how we met. And I started this conversation. I said, "Hey, I want men to support women. I want men to support women. I want men to support women." And the weird thing is that the ball organically landed in hip-hop. And so I got these dudes, and they're like, "Yun, we love what you're about. We love your art. We want to support you. This is positive for hip hop. It's very necessary, and it's never been done before." So I'm starting this movement, and now, you know how I'm always like, you know, on my social media, I'm always squealing. I'm always like, "Yee," like YEE. It's like, you know, it's an people are like, "What is this yee, Yun?" I'm like, it's an excited squeal. That's what it is. It's an excited squeal. So sometimes it'll be yee, and then sometimes it'll be like, you know, it can be used as a question, like yee, you know. So we were all sitting around. I was like, I gotta name this movement, and then finally we just said, that's the perfect name. We'll name it the E-Equality Movement, like YEE Equality Movement.
Okay.
And so I was just at Rico's on Sunday at the dungeon, and we were all sitting around talking about, you know, getting men to support the women's movement. And so they are, I called them the pillars of this movement because there's 4 of them. And a pillar, what a pillar does is a pillar holds things up, you know. So it's just really inspiring to sit there and when I asked Rico, I said, "Rico, why are you so passionate about this?" And he was like, "Well, where I am in my age right now, and as a father where I've been, you know, I feel like it's necessary. I feel like it's overdue, and I'm ready to do the work, Yun." And that just brings me so much, you know, that's just so inspiring. Like, you know, it's no accident that me throwing the question out there that it landed in hip hop. It's no accident. It's no coincidence, you know. And so what we want to do is we want to really, you know, inspire people to say, this is our message, and if you want to support this message, then please come join us and be a pillar as well. You know, because women are we really do need the support, you know, not just, you know, from women, but from men. And we need more men to understand what the women in your life go through. You know, the gender wage gap, you know, women's like shorted $431,000 by the time she hit 65. So, you know, if you times that by the 5 women in your family that are working, you know, you're missing out on at least 2.1 million in your family. And if you're a minority, you're missing out on 4 million almost. You know, 1 or 3 are beaten, 1 or 4 are raped, you know, and people are like, "Well, Yun, how did you get these men to just be wanting to help you with this project?" And I said, it was easy. When I got them to visualize the women that they love in their life dealing with these challenges, you know, and when they know 1 in 3 are beaten, 1 in 4 are raped, and I said, now, if you visualize out of those 5 women you love the most, you do the math on that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I can see that.
So I'm excited because it's not just about me being in art. You know, I feel like with us artists, we can't just stay in the box of this traditional art world system of how it works. Like, you know, really get out. And I'm really embracing living this unlimited life. and we as artists, we have so much voice, we have so much power, and to take that creative voice and be able to influence the masses on it with it. So
Right.
I guess I'm kind of a social entrepreneur, social artist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, definitely an activist. So
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah.
So are you gonna incorporate other the flowers into this project, or is there are you bringing in other artists? How is that
Yeah,
collaborative?
I'm just right now I'm doing the porn flowers, and then, you know, I'm trying to schedule a show, and that's still in the works right now. There's just a lot going on right now. It's very exciting. And, you know, we're still, you know, tying up some loose ends with the guys, and we're hoping to put on a performance. Yeah.
Now, for some reason, I thought you were moving back to LA because I see your posts and
Yeah.
and
Right now, I definitely miss LA. I definitely miss the West Coast. I don't know if I'm going to be going back to LA, but definitely, you know, the West Coast. It's still up in the air right now because I have some, you know, loose ends and business things I got to tie up here. And so I'm still hoping to go out there for the summer. But if not, then I'll be staying here to you know, make the art here. But I definitely want to plan a bi-coastal life. And like every decision from now on is to have a permanent bi-coastal life, because I just miss that Cali vibe, you know. But then Atlanta's home. Atlanta's that soft part in your heart, you know. So, and it's always, I just definitely want to, you know, be back and forth. So every decision will be for that.
So no matter what project you're working on, you want to at least live in Cali part of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I just, you know, miss the beach and, you know, the sun, and I really miss, I'm going to be real, okay? If Atlanta had some water besides the lake, if it was like a beach here, I would so love it here. I do love it here. I'm a beach bunny. I'm a beach bunny. I need the beach, and, you know, being on the nude beach and just, you know, being free and no tan lines, because I hate tan lines, man. When I look at myself in the mirror, I feel weird. I look like a chinky zebra. So, yeah, so I was like, no, I want to just go. You know, part of me is very bohemian and very, I want to never lose that. I don't ever want to lose that wild bohemian part of me, you know. So when I'm in LA, I feel like I really get to embrace that part of me a little bit more.
Got it.
So,
got it.
And just whatever I'm learning in LA, whenever I'm learning out there, I feel like it's my duty to bring it back here.
Yeah.
You know, and share it back here. Share it. You know, what can we, you know, because Atlanta, you know, I think a lot of people are frustrated with Atlanta, man. The art here is great, but the art support here from, you know, collectors, it's just that's why we have to cultivate them. We have to educate them, inform them, cultivate them. So, you know, it's like, you know, there's a lot of disposable income in Atlanta. Do you really need a 7 flat screen in your TV, in your house? Do you really need a 7 flat screen, but you got no art on the wall?
Yeah.
You know
I'm always surprised by when I see art on people's houses. I'm like, oh snap, you collect, and you don't have to be rich. You don't have to get huge pieces, but find the art that you like. Find the artists you follow, and to follow and get some of their art. But I can see that. So
I just
right.
And I just kind of feel like, you know, I've heard that a lot of people say it's, you know, the galleries are intimidating. I feel weird when I walk into a gallery or whatever. And I think it's not just in Atlanta, it's New York or LA or anywhere else. It's that whole, you know, it's kind of cold and people weren't really friendly or whatever. So I was like, you know, and that's why I'm so passionate about cultivating collectors, because, you know, it's such a necessary need. And then, two, you know, strategically, you know, business-wise, I feel like, you know, when somebody sees, oh, wow, Yun's bringing a lot of value, she taught me a lot about art collecting and collecting art and stuff like that, and the importance of it, you know, it's opened up a whole new world to me. So I'm very passionate about bringing people into our art world. And not excluding them, you know? And I'm always inviting people out. Come to this art opening with me. Come do this with me. Come, go to this art lecture with me. Come go to this museum show with me.
Yeah.
All
right. So let's get into some advice.
Okay, advice. I love to give. I don't want it to call it advice. This is what has worked or hasn't worked, or just what has worked for me and my experiences. Right.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
So an artist likes doing art, and they're getting started. What's some of the things they need to have together in their portfolio, their bio, their artist statement, etc., before they head out the door to find collectors? Before they head out the door to find collectors or find a gallery to represent them.
Well, I think the number one thing is you got to check your commitment. That's the biggest thing, is you got to check your commitment. You got to make yourself, committed. Like, how committed are you? When things get tough and you're down and out and you might be homeless, like, are you still committed? You know what I mean? And I see a lot of people that are like, oh, if this art thing doesn't pop off when I'm 40, it's not just artists, it's like musicians or just creative people. They're like, if this art thing doesn't, pop off till I'm 40, I'm just going to quit. And for me, I have this thing called Art Till I Die, a little hashtag called Art Till I Die. I have made this lifelong commitment that I'm literally going to do art until the day I die.
Wow.
Because that's the only way that I know that I went all out, that I didn't do it too early. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the number one thing you got to ask yourself, are you committed? When everybody's telling you no and bringing you down and telling you how, you're not worthy as a creative, you're not worthy as an artist, you're not worthy as, because you're not making big money or whatever, like, are you still going to stay committed? So that's the first thing that I feel like for artists getting started in the game is, you got to check your commitment. You got to be unwavered in your commitment to it. It's a decision, and then it's a commitment.
And that's because it's going to take because of all those lessons, and there's going to be hardship. It's not an easy life. It's gonna be called into question a lot.
Yeah.
I got you.
I mean, I've thought about quitting. I mean, everybody has. I mean, I thought about it, and I was just like, well, Yun, you're going to literally hate yourself if you quit. And people are like, well, how do you do it, Yun? How do you build that mental toughness? And I just say, you just cry and get up. Cry and get up. And cry and get up. You know what I mean? Because I'll sit there and I'll cry. I mean, it's hard. I'm not going to lie. It's brutal out there. You know what I mean? My Houston gallery, closed and took off with $57,000 worth of art. 7 years of my work. 3 bodies of work is gone.
What?
I mean, that's just one thing. You know what I mean? You got galleries bullying you, you got galleries bullying you, saying, I could make you a star, and I didn't like the gallery owner because he wasn't nice. I didn't think we would get along, and he's a big cat, So I had to have the balls to stand on my own and say, listen, I'm not interested in showing with you ever. And then you got somebody saying, for him to say, your fate is sealed in Atlanta. I will make sure you do not make it. You got to really stay committed through all that. That's the politics behind it. That's whatever it is behind it. And I'm just like, no. I'm above that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My voice is powerful. My art is powerful. And at the end of the day, dude, I got the entire world. I got the internet. So I'm not fake. I'm not afraid, and I'm not going to be bullied. So I feel like, the artist, you really have to, and you do this too, Dan. That's what I love about Artist King, is that you really, really encourage artists to take ourselves seriously and to command that respect that we deserve.
Yeah.
But the first thing, as I would say for an artist starting out, is to, get your work together. Really push yourself in the studio. You know what I mean? Because, I've had some people that are like, well, Yun, I got more artwork than you. And I'm like, dude, I'm not even trying to compete with you. I don't compete with other people. The only person that I compete with is myself, and I compete with myself.